Luka, where did the defensive problems start?
Since the beginning of the game.
How can you guys fix the defense?
I don't know, honestly. We know we got to fix it.
Luka, how do you feel about the communication and the trust with the teammates?
Oh, that's good. That's fine. Just, on the defensive end, we got to do something better.
Do you feel like the schemes could work if you guys are executing them right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the coaches work hard every day. There's a lot of coaches that work, watching film, all that stuff. So I think we got to just be better, man. I don't know. Defensively, we got to be better.
7 days or 10 days ago, you guys were riding a 7-game winning streak. And since then, the results have been so dramatic. Has that surprised you?
I mean, it doesn't feel good. I don't know. Yeah, it obviously surprised me. Yeah, but like we gotta do something. We gotta do better for sure.
In rough times like this, what's the message in the locker room when you guys give it?
Positivity. Keith spoke. He's always, speaking, helping us a lot, helping me too. So, he's the voice in the locker room, and we all should listen to him.
Luka, you put up these monster numbers, 3 straight 35-point triple doubles, and you guys are losing. I mean, how frustrating?
It doesn't matter. I just want to win, man. That's it.
You've talked a lot about your defense this year and how it has been better for long stretches. How would you assess it tonight?
There's no individual here. We got to all be better. All 5 people that are on the court, we all got to play team defense. So all 5 guys on the floor.
What do you see as the difference when you guys have played good defense versus what's been happening really since the break?
I mean, it was way easier to play basketball. It was easier to get wins. It was just easier, and we were having a lot of fun. We get stops, we have a lot of fun. We have open court transition, and so it's easy on offense too.
Hey, Luka, what makes this Pacers team so difficult to defend, specifically?
Their pace, I think. They are one of the fastest pace in the league, and they just get it out and run. I don't think they run much plays. They just go at it.
What do you do differently starting tomorrow for the next game on Thursday? How do you go from here?
I don't know. We got to play better defense.
So you think the effort's been there so far in these last stretch of games?
Sorry?
I think the effort's been there.
I honestly think not the whole game, but not a part of the game it was. I think we had it.
Look at the improvements for y'all's defense that obviously doesn't all rest on you, but is there anything specifically that you can think of that you can do better on that end of the floor?
Play better defense.
EJ, about 10 days ago, you guys had a 7-game winning streak, and now you've lost 5 of 6. What would you say the mood is of the team at this point?
Obviously, I mean, we're not too happy about losing, but at the end of the day, we still have a lot of games left, and we still got to be focused on the next game at hand and just be better.
How can you guys fix this defense?
Just being able to do all the little stuff, being able to talk on both ends of the floor, and I think it's just will and a 1-2 on that end. We can't. It's going to be impossible to win games if they're scoring over 30 points in every quarter. So no matter who the team is, we can score 120 points every game and still lose. So for us, it's just that end, and we got to make that a point of emphasis.
Did you feel like you were doing that in the first few games when you were talking? There was communication defensively, and if that was the case, then why is that not the case now?
I'm not sure, but we have to get back to it. We got to get in and watch a lot of film and understand where we're messing up, and just try to make it better next game, obviously, and just go from there.
Was it the case the first 4 games? I mean, was there communication defensively?
Yeah, I mean, there's been communication every game, but for us, I mean, we got to communicate more, and you have to do all the little things. Rebound, not give up second chance points, fast break points. It's a bunch of different aspects of it.
You mentioned will. Do you think it's a matter of just effort on defense?
Yeah, defense is effort. I mean, knowing where you're supposed to be, being able to talk, being able to play team defense. So it's a bunch of different aspects that come into it. But at the end of the day, we just have to be better.
I know. You can only control your own effort, not anybody else's. Is there some level of contagiousness to that? That if you're providing effort, that it can uplift everybody else on the team?
Yeah, for me, I mean, on a defensive end, I just got to be able to talk more and be more vocal on that end and just help guys figure out where they're supposed to be and put us in the best position for us.
Are Dallas's defensive schemes much different than what you had in Charlotte?
Not really, honestly. I mean, everybody's defense is honestly kind of the same. A lot of switching, but I mean, it just changes based on who you're playing. You got to know everybody's tendencies and what they like to do. So, just being able to be locked in and being focused.
So you don't feel like there's been a big transition from that standpoint for you?
Not for me, no.
Daniel, overall, what do you think is going wrong with the defense as of late?
Drop my AirPods. My apologies. I would say it's just, overall effort and communication. At the end of the day, it's more of a trust factor, I would say, with the team that has to kind of level up for sure. If we want to at least make that push to kind of at least get out of bottom 30, in all honesty. But those are some of the main things that I've kind of seen. Those are some of the main things that we've talked about in practice and stuff too.
You were one of the ones that was bringing a ton of energy. It looked like even in the rough points of the game. Did you feel like your energy was contagious to your teammates?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's one of the main things that I want to do. I want to be the teammate that if we don't have any type of energy on the floor, I just come in and I just work. And then, like you said, it's contagious. It goes from one person to the next, and it helps us kind of make that push down the stretch.
The results have been so dramatically different the last 5-6 games as opposed to the 7-game winning streak. Are you at all exasperated?
I mean, with this league, it's tough to win games consecutively, for sure. Everybody's going to give us their best shot night in, night out. They're going to give us 110% effort. We have to be ready for that, especially if we want to make that push to be just like that playoff team we say we want to be.
Can you put a finger on why the results are so dramatically different?
I really can't put a finger on it, On a night-to-night basis, I would say it's just, our mentality on coming towards the game. In all honesty, I just, it's a blur to me.
Hey, Daniel, did anyone step up in the locker room just now and maybe say something after this effort? Or
Yeah, it usually is the majority of the vets. Markieff Morris, he said a lot of stuff that kind of stuck, I'm pretty sure, with a lot of guys tonight, for sure.
Hey, how different is the communication now from where it was in the first 4 games when y'all were here and you were holding teams to 105 and just blowing people out?
I'd say it hasn't took a real bad downslide for sure, but it's just it's always kind of that one moment that is everybody, I would say, struggles with, and that's kind of if we mess up and everybody panics. At the end of the day, we have to stay poised. So I would say that kind of leaks into the communication side. Somebody messes up, now it's okay, all eyes on me. And, I mean, when it came to one of the meetings that we had before with the team, just, being able to understand each other, understand, players' tendencies, players' weaknesses, so on and so forth. And we just have to be there for each other at the end of the day. And I would say we've kind of lacked in those areas these last couple of games.
When you say panic, what do you mean? How do you see that?
You can just tell by the body language at the end of the day. Just watch guys. Guys hold their heads down. Guys get frustrated, so on and so forth. So.
You mentioned the trust factor.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that. How do you mean? How does that sort of manifest itself on the floor in terms of not thinking a guy's going to be behind you on a drive or something like that?
It's just like going into war on a battlefield. You're going out there with a lot of other people that you expect to be able to protect your back on the battlefield too. You're in the trenches. And there's a lot of things that are going to be coming towards you. You always got to have somebody to have your back at the end of the day, no matter who you are, And so with that being said, that's kind of how we put it, for sure. And so once we get to that point to where we have the backside to where it's okay, I trust the guys that are behind me just in case I get broken down, get drove past, something is around the basket, or just if anybody's beside you, Every time we step on the floor, it's a fight. And you got to have all 5 guys on the same side and on the same page to really just kind of be able to withstand that fight too.
When you're going through tough stretches like this and you guys step up in the locker room, what's the gist of the message? I mean, is it sticking together or is there strategies or what?
It's most definitely sticking together. But at the same time, it's the mindset on coming out night in, night out. Kyrie said it. Markieff has said it. We have a target on our back. At the end of the day, we're one of the best teams in the league, and we have to understand the fact that there's going to be a lot of things that are thrown at us on a night-to-night basis. Like tonight, It was just like a lot of traps. It was a lot of things that wasn't going our way. And we just have to stay poised in those situations because the team that we want to be, that's the team that's going to be able to like withstand those punches and then throw something back.
Daniel, I want to ask you to speak for the team, but personally, where do you go? What do you do when you need to reset, regroup, and refocus?
I mean, I just go home and try to forget everything, you know? You can't worry about the things that's in the past because it happened just, you know, even if it happened a couple of seconds ago, it's in the past. We got to worry about, you know, putting one foot forward and not worry about the one that's behind us. We just got to keep moving forward at the end of the day. Tough loss, you know? It's not the outcome that we wanted, of course, but when it comes to just how I deal with it, it's on to the next because the next game is the most important game. And we just take it one game at a time.
Daniel, you mentioned Markieff and Kyrie said something. Did Coach have a specific message? And if so, what was it?
Pretty much the same as Kyrie and Markieff, you know, just finding ways to stay together, finding ways to be able to come out night in, night out and playing as like a full team, you know, from the guys that start the game to the guys that are on the bench. You know, at the end of the day, it's just we want to be better as a unit, so that's what it takes. Okay. All right.
Jason, some of the players have mentioned that some of the veterans spoke up in the locker room after the game and that you did as well. What would you say the general message was?
We have to be better. I think just looking at the defensive side, I thought, again, 74-70, it was, you know, shoot around. And talking about Turner, I thought we did a good job of taking away Turner in that third quarter. I've said this before, you know, when we score the ball, we'll play both sides of the ball. In that third quarter, we kind of went cold. And they kept playing, and that's a credit to Indiana. They kind of, you know, play one way, and that's with the pace and putting pressure on you, shooting the three. We got to be able to take the three away. You know, we gave way too many corner threes tonight. These are things that we've worked on. We just got to be able to see it in real time. And so these are things that we'll continue to keep working on.
What adjustments can you make defensively? How can you clean things up on that end?
Yeah, well, we tried everything. We switched to hit. We went zone. You know, sometimes, give them credit. They're one of the best offensive teams in the league. And so for us, it's about the rotations, not giving up the corner three, which we have been here. And so we'll go back, look at the film, and see what we can do better. Understanding our offense is one of the best in the league. And so if we can expend some of that energy on the defensive end, hopefully that gives us a better chance to get a stop.
Do you have the players and the personnel to make these schemes work?
Yeah, we got the personnel, we got the team. This is actually a great test for us, you know, to be able to go through a hard time in March because it only gets harder in April and May and June. And so this is a great test to be tested in the sense, are we going to let go of the rope? Or are we going to continue to come to work? Everyone's coming to work. Everyone has the positive mindset, energy. Everyone's trying to do the right thing. Right now, it's just not falling our way, but we got to continue to keep pushing. We got a game on Thursday, and we'll be better.
You talked about expending some of the offensive energy on the other end. Does Luka need to do that? Does Luka need to be better defensively?
We all do. It's, you know, when you look at leaning on Luka offensively, in which we do, and he delivers, we have to be able to cover him and cover not just Luka, but cover Kai. And the other three that are out there have to protect each other. It's not just one-on-one. The players are too good in this league to just play one-on-one. We have to do, as a group, team defense. We have to guard the ball better. We have to help each other. And then we have to finish the play by rebounding. And we can do this. It's just being, you know, we show that signs of it. We just have to be, you know, on the norm. We can't just give up the threes. We have to be consistent. And we're not being consistent right now. But we do have the guys that can do it. Luka can play defense. But we're asking him to do a lot on the offensive end too. And so just understanding that, it's March. We can fix this, and we'll be ready for Thursday. We got a lot of games left. But the personnel, we can look at different rotations. We can look at different starting lineups. We talked about that before the game, we have options, and we'll explore those.
Are you asking too much of Luka offensively for him to be able to play both ends right now?
Are we asking too much? I don't know if we're asking. This is what he does. He's one of the best offensive players on the planet. And so this is what he does. And so we have to help him on that end, and we have to also help him on the defensive end. This isn't a surprise. This has been, he's been doing this pretty much his whole career.
Yeah, I guess he's got 35-plus point triple-doubles these last 3 games, and you're losing. And I'm just wondering, is it possible for him to have that big of a burden offensively and hold up his end of the bargain on the defensive end? It's playing, 38, 40 tonight, 43 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he loves the play. He loves the competition. Again, offensively, he's one of the best, if not the best in the league. And so now we got to be able to help him there. I thought the pick and roll with Gafford was great tonight. It wasn't great with Lively. So we have options, and we went to the second option, and Gafford delivered. And so it's just about being consistent, of being able to do your job. And it's not just one person. It's not just Luka. It's not just Kai. We all have to participate. We're playing 10. If we have to cut this thing down to 7, then that's what we have to do. But right now we're trying to figure out the different combinations that can help us win. And Luka is, again, offensively leads the league in scoring. He's a walking triple-double. He's doing everything to help the team win. We all have to pitch in and help him.
Before the game, you told us that everyone in the locker room trusts what you guys are trying to accomplish, and you mentioned the hold the rope analogy a little while ago. But you've also told us it's a young team. Do you have a concern level at all about that trust eroding as results aren't coming?
No, the trust is there. We got great guys, great character guys in that locker room. When you look at letting go of the rope, we got a 20-year-old who's starting at center. He's never seen this before, right? I mean, I know everyone gets excited because he did well against Victor, but there's 81 more games to be played, and there is a rookie wall. There's a lot of he's a young man who's seeing the NBA for the first time, and so there's going to be ups and downs. But that's why it's called a team, and that's why Gafford picked him up tonight. Maxey has to pick up Gafford, or Gafford has to pick up Maxey. That's just the beauty of what this is. And so D-Live, going through the rookie season, is having a heck of a rookie season. And he's going to only get better, but he could be tired. He's never played this many games or this many minutes. And so I don't even know if he knows what letting go of the rope means. And so sometimes being young or being a rookie and being naive, you can use that as a positive.
Coach, I know right now is a tough stretch, but do you think this can be a moment where you guys can look back on in a few months and say this was our moment of adversity, that we picked things up and turned things around and got hot towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's every team goes through it. Maybe a couple don't, but we're in the midst of it, and we still believe that we have the opportunity to win. We have the talent and the mindset. It's just being able to do it on a consistent basis, and that's what every other team is fighting for, is to be consistent. And right now, that's what we're doing. Yes, if we get hot, then everybody will ask, well, how did this thing turn around? And it's about the group staying together, coming to work every day with a positive attitude and the energy, and having fun. And so that's one of the things right now. Losing isn't fun. Winning is. And so, we're all fighting for that. And that's what this time of the year is all about. March, everybody's fighting for position.
As the head coach, what are some other things outside of the things you just discussed that you feel could be changed or at least enhanced before the next game or even next week?
Yeah, I think just the conversation, with our group, our young group. A lot of times conversation is important because we all can text, or we can all use Instagram or Twitter. But just the conversation of being able to understand what it means to go through a struggle, to see a family member struggle, how to help. A lot of times we don't talk about that, and we just let someone just struggle or drown. And so understanding that everyone's not perfect and that this is a team, and it's not just Luka's team, it's just not Kai's team, it's the Mavs. And so we're all trying to figure this out together. But at the end of the day, this wasn't the last season of the game. This is just one of 82 that we can learn from. And so to answer your question, change, yeah, there'll be change. There could be a different lineup. There could be a different rotation. But, understanding how this group will handle that is big, and hopefully they handle it in a positive way.
Kids, through coaching with your time with the Mavs, you've had seasons like 2022-23, or when y'all made the Western Conference Finals, and then last year after the trade deadline, things didn't go as well as you may have hoped. How, as you as the coach, can you ensure or try to ensure that y'all don't fizzle out as y'all did last year?
Yeah, I think just understanding history, making sure it doesn't repeat itself. We've talked about that as a group. We've talked about, we're going to be in the playoffs. We talked about that last year, and that didn't quite happen. But we did get D-Live and Omax out of that season. But just understanding that could happen and that we got to go take it. We can't, there's nothing in this league is going to be given to you. And we got to work and do it together. And so as a coach, that's what we're talking about. We're showing where we're making our mistakes and we're working on it. Now it's just a matter of the players being able to do it when they see it.
Coach, are you confident that they're hearing you when you preach any of those messages you talk about?
Yeah, I think someone just brought it up that I talked. As much as a coach talks, the peers have to talk because the respect comes from the peers and also from the coach. And so just understanding that, the message is clear and it's positive. No one's panicking as much as you guys would like to write that. But it's basketball. It's a game that we can learn from each other when things are tough and who's in it and who's out. And that's what we're going to see right now. And that's the beauty of what we have when we believe in that locker room. We got great guys that are going to fight.
Coach, I guess one last interesting thing I wanted to mention was you were obviously a great player. How does that help you for this moment when you're dealing with adversity as a leader, as a coach? How does your background as a great player help you for this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Being a great player, or just a great person, or a great coach, you just draw from the past. Being able to share with Kai and Luka, what it means to be great and what it means to be a leader. And those two are doing it on and off the floor. Being able to help D-Live as a rookie, you're going to touch the ball. He's human. He's got other things that go on in life that could be bothering him too. But we always are judged just on points or minutes or scoring and just on or rebounds or block shots. But do you really know the person that you're criticizing? And so that, for me, is about helping these young men be professionals on and off the floor. And that's what we have. We got a great group. PJ's playing at a high level for us on defense and offense. When you look at Gafford coming from the Wizards, talking about the longest win streak was 2, right? And so there's a lot of positive things happening here. As I said earlier, Rome wasn't built in a day. 2011 wasn't built in a day. Right? And so there's only a few of us in that locker room who've won at the highest level. And so it's for us to help these young men get through this tough time. And guess what? It won't be the last time. This is D-Live's first year. He's going to play, 15 to 20 years in this league. And so he's going to be able to carry that, that torch of being able to lead. I think he's going to be one of the best leaders that the Mavs have had when it's all said and done.
Coach, PJ Washington talked a little bit about the defense and talked about how important effort is for defense. What kind of things do you say to your guys if they're lacking effort on defense or if they're lacking some energy?
Well, I have a joke. Is that all right if I give you a joke?
Give me a joke, Andrew.
Yeah, well, it's going to be both. I've told you this, and you guys, for whatever reason, don't listen. Our offense is our defense. Have I not said that?
You said it.
Okay. So when we score, we will play defense. And I'm half joking, but I'm being also serious. Like when we put the ball in the basket, we are really good on both ends. The next step, and it's a small step, is when we don't score, can we play defense? It's really simple, right? And so when we watch the game, we're scoring, they're scoring. It's a 4-point game. It's anybody's game. When we didn't score, we stopped playing defense. So now the next step is to be able to recognize that and be able to play defense. And so to answer your question without the joke or being sarcastic, it's just a matter of being able to be unselfish and sacrifice. And once we get to that point, we're going to be really good.